Hey everybody, welcome to Mortgage Today for September 21st, 2023. And oh, what a day it was. Stupid Fed. UMBS were down 33 basis points on the 5.5 bright and early. The S&P futures were down 40.25 points. Bonds were already in rough shape this morning as overseas markets added momentum to yesterday's Fed reaction. Stocks were swooning as well, thus making for the classic Fed tantrum pattern. And just released claims data this morning is the focal point of the morning, and latest evidence of the labor market is unfazed by present level of rates. Jobless claims came in at 201,000 on a 225 forecast. It was 221 previously. Philly Fed came in at negative 13.5 on a negative 0.7 forecast. It was 12 previously. Philly Fed prices came in at 25.7 on a 20.8 previous. Needle mostly threaded by Wednesday's Fed announcement. The dot plot, which is where the Fed members individually forecast rates, adds some pressure to short end of the curve. Follow-through selling is a risk for Thursday because there was no new favorable news for rates after the Fed yesterday. Powell reiterated its commitment to the 2% inflation target, referring to it 6 times in the first 8 minutes of the presser, not to mention the FOMC statement, which read, The committee is strongly committed to returning inflation to its 2% objective. That statement itself, which is short enough to be printed on a half a sheet of regular-sized stationery, referenced the 2% target 3 times. On one hand, this relieves any fear that the central bank is about to throw up its hands and give up on the job and set a new higher inflation target. But on the other hand, the constant references to the current target bring to mind the line from Hamlet, "The lady doth protest too much." He also repeated his assertion that the central bank may need to keep rates higher for longer. "We are prepared to raise rates further if appropriate, and we intend to hold policy at a restrictive level until we are confident that inflation is moving down sustainably towards our objective." What does this mean for mortgage rates? Theoretically, the Fed just signaled a lot lower interest rate volatility going forward, which should translate into tightening MBS spreads. On the other hand, the yield curve is still highly inverted, and we could see that unwind as a hard landing scenario becomes less probable. Existing home sales fell 0.7% month over month and 15.3% year over year on a seasonally adjusted annual level of 4.04 million. Median house price rose 3.9% year over year to $407,100. The NAR estimates that the supply of houses has to basically double in order to stem home price appreciation. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Anytime the market goes to sleep on a Fed day in the midst of a big move, there's stronger than average possibility that overseas markets will add some momentum in the prevailing direction. That direction is up. As far as rates and yields are concerned, the overseas FOMO selling brought yields to a new long-term highs overnight, and a big beat in jobless claims made for another few basis points of selling. After that, the bonds managed to level off fairly well, but may have benefited from the acceleration in stock selling. At the end of the day, the UMBS 5.5 was down 58 basis points. The 6.0 is down 40. We're probably going to start paying attention to the 6% coupon here pretty soon, which is down itself into this very ugly range where we have a ceiling at 97.666. Ugh, that's pretty demonic. But that's pretty much what the pricing is looking like right now. So we're going to have to see what happens tomorrow from the markets. We also got news that RE/MAX has agreed to settle 2 lawsuits related to price fixing for a total of $55 million. Some are saying it's just going to invite more lawsuits. This all stems around lawsuits pertaining to price fixing on the NMLS by the major real estate entities to make sure it always stays at 6% on sales, and also whether or not the buyer or seller should be committed to paying that and a whole bunch of other things. Some are saying it's just going to invite more lawsuits. In the true crime, so much of the money is going to lawyers that the air quotes wrong clients are only going to get about $250 each.